starting uni is an amazing, amazing part of the uni experience. But it's also a really vulnerable one where you're moving to a place where you don't know anyone. You're exposed to drinking like you've never drank before. And everything is new and everyone wants to be friends with everyone. And it's a wonderful time, but it's also quite a vulnerable time for students. And I think that's why it's important to really bring about a culture of consent on campuses in those first few weeks, because it then sets a standard for the rest of not only the year but the rest of that student's time at university. And it's all about maintaining those boundaries and things, and learning about that early on is the best approach because it saves so much heartache in the long run. Consent is a person's right to decide what it is that they would like to participate in, and it's also what they would like to happen to their body or what they would like their body to be able to do. So consent is needed in every relationship, in every friendship, in every interaction. It's not just a box that you need to get ticked so that you can have sex with someone, but it's a person's right to have control over themselves and their own body in any situation. A person can give consent in loads of different ways. It can be physical, like touching. It can be verbal, by saying that you like what's happening. And it can also be non-verbal, like smiling and showing that you're actively involved in the act. But also you can change your mind at any point. Consent is something that can be given and taken away as soon as it's given. You are in control of your own body in any encounter. When you're having sex with someone, you should always make sure that your partner is having just as much of a good time as you are. Their feelings and pleasure should just be as important to you as your own feelings and pleasure. And if you are ever in any doubt that your partner might not want to do something, or that they're maybe not as keen as you are, talk about it. Ask them what they would prefer to do, because that's a whole lot hotter and a whole lot sexier than having sex with someone who's just not enjoying themselves. University is an experience that you should be able to enjoy to the fullest. But what we need to remember is that there are a few things that we can all do to stay safe and look out for one another.
My top tips for staying safe are to download Find My Friends or an equivalent app and give access to your friends and your family. Know your limits with substances so you can watch out for signs of being spiked, and carry a personal alarm with you if you're travelling home. And if you are taking public transport, make sure to choose to sit in a packed carriage or near a driver. And finally, make sure you have a fully charged phone on your way home. My tips for making sure your friends stay safe are, if you know that they're travelling alone, track them using the Uber app or a Find My Friends app. Use a buddy system on a night out, so make sure you're always in pairs, for example if you're going to the bathroom or to the bar. And finally, know their limits so you can watch out for signs of them being spiked.
The most important thing if you experience sexual violence or abuse is ensuring that you're safe. And there are different ways you can access support, including your local rape crisis centre. There's also national helplines as well, including for rape crisis, for domestic abuse. And there's also specialist support helplines as well, including through Gallup. And if you look at through MCON as well, there's a list of local support services as well for BME survivors as well as Disabled Survivors Unite. And there are also specialist groups, including BI survivors, which you could potentially access as well. Primarily as accessing support in the first 24 to 72 hours, we would suggest potentially looking at your local rape crisis centre if you feel comfortable, or potentially using a helpline to get further guidance. It's important to know that, potentially sometimes when trying to access services, it's knowing that the support that's given has that training as to how best to support you, including, for example, if you're trans, if you're disabled, that they have that training and understanding and that empathy. There are fantastic services out there, including the Andrew Centre, as well as Sister Space, also a list of BME support services through MCAN. There's Gallup for LGBTQ+ survivors, including both sexual violence and domestic abuse. Disabled Survivors Unite has a fantastic list of services through their website. They themselves can't provide support, but they have a list of services that can for people, for disabled survivors, as an example. And we would suggest looking online, especially if you are interested in looking for more specific support services, because they are out there.
Not on My Campus UK is a nationwide student collective aimed at tackling gender-based violence and sexual violence on higher education campuses across the UK.
We are a community of activists from different institutions, including sort of those who run societies in tackling sexual violence, online abuse, and helping to peer support groups for survivors. So we aim to really provide a space where we can help connect and really sort of looking at sharing best practices, including for research, for policy, but also resources as well for like activism materials as well. Not My Campus is here to help provide a platform for students. We were set up by students from different societies across the UK, primarily out of collective frustration for the issues and challenges we had in regards to tackling sexual violence, domestic abuse, online abuse. If you are frustrated and you want to get involved, we are here for you. We are a platform for you, and we want to ensure that you can engage and work with us, and we will be there for you.